before we do that, why don't we run on over to the USMNT roster? Dropped for the June camp. I'm a little bit disappointed, but I also kind of understand where you were coming from. So just a quick rundown of who we've got. In goal, the three usuals: Zach Steffen, Matt Turner, Ethan Horvath. In the back, George Bello, Reggie Cannon, CCV, Aaron Long, Eric Palmer-Brown, Anthony Robinson, Joe Scally, DeAndre Yedlin, and Walker Zimmerman. Kellen Acosta in the midfield, Tyler Adams, Luca De La Torre, Weston McKinney, which is awesome to see. Didn't think he'd make this one. Jordy Mihailovic, Yunus Musa, Christian Roldan, Malik Tillman, the interesting addition. And in the forward line, Brendan Aronson, back after injury as well. Paul Arriola, Jesus Ferreira, Jordan Morris, Christian Pulisic, Tim Weah, and Haji Wright. So a few cool additions there. A few people I didn't need to see again. What are your initial thoughts?
So originally I thought that this was just the roster for friendlies. I didn't realize this was the roster for Nations League as well, which makes me a little bit more disappointed. Again, I totally understand it. Like, this is your most likely your last chance to kind of figure things out with the team in terms of like strategy and who you want to bring before the World Cup. So yeah, I get it. Bring your guys in that, you know, you want to be a part of the strategy and try to get a sense of who is making that final cut to go to Qatar. But it is a little disappointing to not see more guys rotated into this team for the Nations League games, because those are great opportunities for some new faces to get some game time. But with the roster that Greg's bringing, it looks like you're going to see a lot of the same faces. Granted, you know, some credit, there are a few new names in here that I think are exciting to watch, and some guys who definitely deserved to be on this list. Cough, cough, Jordy Mihailovic, that I'm glad to see in here.
For sure. Yeah, absolutely hyped to see him here. But I think I told you the first thing I did, I was super underwhelmed. There were players that I thought should have been called in, given a shot for this entire run of Nations League. And like you said, I understand you've got how do you say? You've got your last shot before you get to see the World Cup roster, right? Before you have to really finalize it. But there are a lot of people I thought probably should have been tested here and given a shot. A few people that I'm just scrolling through this little list here right now, and these are just players who are playing relatively overseas. It was updated a little bit ago. There's some people like Bobby Wood is still at Hamburg on this list, but for the most part, it's pretty up to date, right? Christian Ramirez is somebody I absolutely would have loved to see in this team. I'm okay seeing Haji Wright in there instead. You know, they really only have two true strikers in this group, in a Jesus Ferreira and a Haji Wright, and I'd assume that at some point you're going to see Tim Weah play as a false nine or something like that. I would have loved to see Christian Ramirez in this list. Shaq Moore is another one. And again, these are just overseas players to start. I haven't gotten into the MLS players yet. Shaq Moore, absolutely think he deserves a spot on this team for the Nations League specifically. You know, kind of that Reggie Cannon isn't going to be your first guy up, and DeAndre Yedlin needs to leave. So would have liked to see him in there. With our center back depth being tested and a lot of them being close to injury already. I know Aaron Long has been brought out early a few times this year. Would have liked to see maybe Miazga or Mark McKenzie get back in and give a run out. Matthew Hoppe, another one we would have been nice to see. Giacchini would have been good to see. Not sure if Daryl DK was the guy, but would have liked to see him come back in. Conrad De La Fuente are just names that are jumping out to me right now that I would have liked to see.
Shut up.
Thank you.
You mentioned
Anybody else
Christian
you would-
Ramirez. Is Christian Ramirez just like popping off at Aberdeen?
Have you not heard? I'm pretty sure he was like joint golden boot all the way up to the end of the year.
Wow. No, I did not hear that.
Yeah, he was absolutely lighting it up. He was I think I
That's,
spelled- oh, no,
that's
I
pretty
got it.
impressive.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah,
Christian Ramirez.
He finished joint third. He was 2 off of Alfredo Morelos.
Yeah, which is massive because he's playing for Aberdeen and not Celtic or Rangers.
True.
I would have liked to see him get in there. I think he deserved a shot. Again, maybe you see him in Group 2 of Nations League or Gold Cup. He'd be a great Gold Cup guy, I think. Would have liked to see him here.
You know what I'm a little bit surprised to see is the I feels a little light on center backs. I kind of wish they brought one more.
Right.
Because
Right.
like you
Exactly.
said, Long's battling injuries right now. Right at the moment, you're looking for most likely your guy who's playing next to Walker Zimmerman at the World Cup. Because I think Robinson's probably out.
Right. Imagine if they didn't play on that garbage turf.
I don't remember. Was he hurt at home?
I don't know. I just like to blame your turf.
Okay. Well, anyway, yeah. I mean, right now, based on that list, I would have to assume Greg's going to look to pair Aaron Long with him, which is going to throw USMNT Twitter into an absolute riot.
And for a fact, I'm going to sit there and just refresh, and hook it directly into my veins. Yeah, I'm toxic. What are you going to do about it?
I don't love the Aaron Long starting shout. I like him being on the team as like a good sub option. I don't like him starting.
That's wild. I can't remember who asked.
I did. I asked.
Other people you think maybe got snubbed off? Maybe not snubbed off. Snubbed is the wrong word, but people who probably should have been in here if they were doing a proper, second strength group.
Would have loved to seen Slanina, especially after you're just committed. That would have been a nice, especially with Nations League. I mean, that was golden shot for him to get game time there. I don't really understand why he brought all 3 goalkeepers.
Yes, correct.
I like why not just go Stefan and Turner? They're in the battle for your number 1 spot. I know that both of them are like back and forth with injuries and bad form or whatever, but why not just throw Slanina in there and be like, okay, Stefan and Turner are battling for the friendlies or whatever, and then Gaga, you get the Nations League games. I feel like that would just make sense.
Or flip flop it. Give Gaga the friendlies that don't matter, and let the other 2 battle out the Nations League. I don't care. End of the day, I think he should have been brought in over Ethan if everybody was healthy.
Is Horvath even playing games for Nottingham Forest?
I don't think so.
That's even worse.
I think he got a spell of games. Yeah, he's had 6 appearances.
That's it? 6?
Just 6.
Why? Why is he getting called? I get it. I like Horvath. Obviously, he was massive for us at the Nations League last year, but he's played 6 games this year. I mean, granted, Stefan's probably played like 6 games this year also, but I think Stefan's got more under his belt than Horvath does. So I think you give Stefan the advantage there over Horvath, and you drop Horvath and bring in Slanina.
Yep, I don't disagree with you there. I would have liked to see him there.
I almost feel like Sean Johnson deserves to be on this team more than Horvath.
All right, relax.
I'm not saying Sean Johnson should be starting, and I'm not saying that I would want to take Sean Johnson, but I just feel like he's earned it more than a guy who's made 6 appearances this season.
Okay.
What are your thoughts on Malik Tillman getting in here? I know a lot of people were hyped about that one.
I was going to throw in a few more names, by the way, before we got to Malik Tillman. But
you were asking about guys that were off the list.
Right. I think
Pepe, I think is a name on there that's missing. Not that I'm not saying that it was like the wrong decision to leave him off. I mean, he's in pretty bad form right now, but he's a pretty notable name that's not on that list. Do you said oh no, never mind, he's on there.
I would have enjoyed to see Keaton Parks in there. I know we've talked about Keaton Parks a lot here being kind of the next group coming up. But as well as Frankie Amaya. So Frankie Amaya has turned into a phenomenal kind of holding mid number 8 type of player. And I think he's definitely deserved at least a shot to fill in. If we're talking MLS players, do I think he's like the next guy up? No. But I definitely think he probably will deserve some sort of call up in a January camp or something when he's playing very well. That's kind of the only 2 that stand out there.
Sabachu's not on this list. I don't know if he's hurt. That's a little bit surprising to see. Pretty sure he had a pretty strong season.
Oh no, he was great. He was also up in
oh yeah, 22 goals.
22 goals. Yeah,
That's massive.
He was fantastic. Yeah, he was fantastic. He just has to
I'm surprised Haji Wright got the nod over him. I would have preferred Sabachu, honestly. I know he had that bad miss in the last qualifiers, but I'd give him another shot.
Haji Wright playing for Antalyaspor, 14 goals in 32 appearances. He's going off. I'm very happy to see him in here.
I don't know. I still would have gone Sabachu over Haji Wright.
Nah, I'm cool. I'm cool with Haji Wright being here.
I mean, it's a new name. It's a new name. I'm not, credit that he's willing to switch it up. I mean, overall, I think this is a strong team. I mean, I like it a lot. It
right.
is
happy to see Cameron Carter-Vickers and Eric Palmer Brown in there, see what they can do, right? Because like we said, we need to find somebody who can fill in that spot. But the big focus, I think, obviously, is Malik Tillman. I don't know much about the guy. I'll be honest with you. Didn't even know he was on our radar. Don't watch a lot of Bayern too, so don't really keep up with my third division German league as best as I should. But he has appeared 4 times for Bayern Munich properly for a total of 102 minutes. So he
it's pretty good though, because he's pretty young. So, and it's Bayern. It's not easy to break into that team and get minutes. But
oh come on,
let's take this with a grain of salt.
They have the league wrapped up by like 2 months left to go. Anybody can break into that team. You just gotta wait.
Let's take a step back though, because let's remember who the last big youth prospect was to come through Bayern Munich for the US.
The last person to score a goal at the World Cup for the United States? Yeah, you're damn right I'm hyped. Let's go, baby. My boy Julian Green. What a legend.
Yeah, I've heard a lot of hype around him. Just like you, I don't really know too much about him either, but I'm excited to see what he could bring to the table. I think he's got good chances to play here too. I'm hoping this isn't like a situation where they get called in and then they just kind of train with the team. Like I want to see these guys play.
Right. A lot of what I'm reading about him is he's the next kind of Yunus Musa type of Gio Reyna type of player, going forward, breaking lines. Tillman. I'm trying to find that article that I was reading. Bundesliga.com. Who is a Bayern Munich forward who just called up to the men's national team? Striker, attacking midfielder. Born in Nuremberg, U.S. military father, grew up in Firth, which is actually where Julian Green plays now, funny enough. Trying to see. Yeah, he was promoted to the first team after He was thrown into the second team and really played well. 5 goals in 8 games. Got a new contract. He scored in the DFB Cup first round. And he played in the Champions League and Bundesliga. So he's got experience. However,
God, he's that game he scored in the DFB Pokal, 12-0.
All right, cool. The Bundesliga is comparing him to Paul Pogba, which means really excited to see how many haircuts he gets before his first goal.
And how many dabs he does.
How many dabs after the first goal. He is something of a role model for him, he's been quoted to say.
I don't know if that's good or bad.
Yeah, me either. Top quality young striker, says Jagelsman. The Germans were really upset to lose him.
That's a good sign.
What does that mean? It's a good sign, right? But man, I don't know. I can't have any faith until I see the dude ball out. So
yeah,
I don't know how he got over here, but Big Greg is doing a heck of a job recruiting some of these players.
That's what we talked about. That's what we talked about last
ago.
episode. Yeah.
Yeah, where yes, people are leaving, but we are pulling in way better players. You tell me if I want Malik Tillman or Richie Ledesma. Yeah, easy.
Yeah, exactly.
Especially because I've seen so much of Tillman, right?
He's this is what we were talking about last episode, where Greg's grabbing or convincing these guys from Europe to switch over to us, which I think is a better use of his I guess let's say recruiting abilities than trying to get the guys more local to stay with the US. So I feel like there's more potential with the guys that are in Europe. I mean, not to mention style of play. You know, they know how to play a style of play similar to what, let's say, like Pulisic or Weston or Gio are used to, because they play in those countries already.
Right, and we talked about that too, where you have to have people who are used to the same style of play playing together. What was the other thing I was going to ask? Sorry, my phone just went off.
Well, while you think of that, the only other thing I wanted to say is that I'm super stoked to see Jordy Mihailovic in here. There is not a single player in the world that deserved this call up more than Jordy Mihailovic.
I don't like agreeing with you, but yeah, there's not much to argue on that. This dude is in the form of his absolute life. He just can't stop scoring. He can't stop scoring. He can't stop assisting. And I'm really excited for Greg to leave him on the bench all 3 games.
Oh, it's going to be great. We're going to see Christian Roldan make
Christian Roldan's 8-minute cameo. Oh, hook that.
Sorry, Jordy. Christian it's in the contract.
I would say, man, listen, we're in the 3rd game. It's the Nations League. You know that he's a really good impact player. You just don't fit the system, bro. I'm sorry. Coach, I'm literally Yunus Musa, but like American. Like, what do you mean? Thoughts on anybody who probably shouldn't be here?
Yeah, I would say I really don't see a point in having DeAndre Yedlin here. I think 100% he's going to be on the plane to Qatar. I think you should try to look at what are your other options at right back, because I think Yedlin's probably guaranteed a spot. Dest is probably guaranteed a spot. So then who's grabbing the last one? Is it Cannon? Is it Shaq Moore? Is it I'm forgetting who the other person is. There's someone else that's in that mix too, usually, and I can't remember who.
Probably. I mean, Joe Scally's here, but
I wasn't thinking Joe Scally, but who else?
Oh, Tim Chandler, of course.
Oh yeah, of course. Yeah, that's it.
I'm,
Or actually,
sorry.
right back. Tim Ream is actually the
Yes.
correct answer.
That USMNT player abroad list that I told you I was pulling up, it still has Nick's Discarud on the list. Guess where he's playing right now?
The Norwegian second division.
Cyprus.
Nice. He's crushing it.
Joe Corona's playing in Sweden, by the way.
Oh, that's where he went, huh?
Yeah, that's where he ended up. I don't see anybody here who,
Yeah, nobody's really jumping out too much.
and that just tells you where we're at as a nation, where it's like, yeah, any of these players I'm okay with, right? I'm okay, and it's whatever. There's nobody jumps out like, oh my God, stop bringing him again.
Yeah.
Right. There's no more Sebastian Lletget, who is, by the way, absolutely booking a ticket after that bicycle kick he scored this weekend.
That's why he's not
What
on
an
here. His
what an
tickets are at a punch.
absolute. Okay, listen, that finish though, absolutely unreal. My dude pulled that out of his locker like,
It's because
way
he's trying to
back
get
there.
in. He's like, Greg, don't forget about me.
You know who else scored this weekend? Who's coming on the plane? Jordan
Right.
Lewis.
Oh, I was gonna say Brandon Vasquez.
Jordan Lewis. Yeah. Yeah, no, not really too many people here that I'm upset about seeing. I'm super okay with the entire roster. Really want to see him utilize every player.
Agreed. Yeah.
We're in friendlies. We're in the beginning of Nations League. I don't care if you go strongest lineup for Nations League, but in the friendlies, you got to empty your bench. You got to give everybody a chance so we can see what they can do. There's no point in bringing people to friendlies if you're just going to sit them on the bench.
Yep. Absolutely has to get everybody involved here. Fully agree with you.
Yep.